5. The Reaping. The Ojo family drove back home from the shops through what seemed like a war zone. People were looting, fighting, and behaving like animals. Was this the true nature of man? Were they scared of meeting their maker? Too scared to face up to the responsibility, Loic had to become disagreeable to get his family home safely and even beat up a couple of thugs who tried to block the road. They had got home around 1725 and went around protecting the house. The clock on Loic's phone struck 1750. The dreaded time was now upon them. They gathered in the living room and held hands. Loic faced Crystal with Dio to his left and Tanya to his right.
"Daddy, are you taking the test?"
asked Dio.
"Yes, son. Are you ready?"
he asked Crystal.
"Yeah," she said.
Together they said,
My name is Loic
Crystal Ojo.
I reject
believe
and
in
deny
God
the
and
existence
accept
of
Christ
God.
as my Lord and Savior.
"That's it. Can we get back to reality now, please?" asked Crystal. "I'm scared," said Tanya. "Don't be scared. What's meant to be will be," said Crystal.
Loic went outside to the garden, hoping to catch a glimpse of something. Something that might take them far, far away. Perhaps the ascended beings themselves. It was cold, yes, but he couldn't handle being out in the street. It was crazy now. Billions of people across the world were taking the test, confessing their belief or denying the existence of God. Had he made the right decision? This test was real. He was certain of that. Loic doubted himself for the first time in ages. What if he had bitten the bait and fell for the trick of water and fire? The initiate's talk of angels and promise of a paradise. Was he one of the dumb ones destined to live a life of misery and torture? Crystal and Loic had voted differently, so they were going to different places. At least she took it seriously enough to vote. It was just unfortunate it was the wrong one. He started to feel sad that he would never see Crystal again. And which child would go with him? He felt his heart sink. He knew his wife and that she would never pass. His heart said there wasn't a God, and whether right or wrong, he was willing to accept his fate. He looked up at the sky thinking about the universe. If this was true, they would be the last humans in this great age. He saw nothing. It was 1758. His heart was pounding, and he went back into the house thinking they needed to be together. The kids really felt the pressure and held on to their mom tight. It was 1759. 1 minute left. He pulled Crystal up from the sofa, looked deeply into her eyes, and kissed her. If this was their last time on Earth, or their last time together, he wanted to spend it as one with his soulmate. He questioned if she really was his soulmate after choosing a different answer. They kissed, and then suddenly, Loic felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He looked at her with a look of pain and shock. She looked perfectly normal. Removing his hands from her waist and holding his stomach in pain, he managed to turn around and look to the children. Tanya looked sick as well, but Dio was all right.
"What's wrong, Daddy?"
Tanya asked. No time for lies, Loic thought.
"Just stay with me,"
he said, grabbing her hand tight. He heard Crystal screaming, but the sound got fainter and fainter, and his vision became blurry.
"Are you okay?"
Crystal said with a face that looked horrified. Poor Dio couldn't look at them, and buried his face on the back of Crystal's thigh. This was it. This was really happening. It was going to be me and my daughter, Loic thought. He felt sleepy. Really sleepy. he began to lose sense of awareness. Crystal leapt forward and grabbed him on the collar of his t-shirt. The pain had gone now, and he began to feel good. His body felt light, almost weightless. He felt a sense of calm, a sense of oneness. Instead of pain, he felt pure bliss. Loic and Tanya disappeared in front of Crystal and Dio in the blink of an eye. Tanya screamed in absolute shock horror. Ah! Tanya and Dio then disappeared and found themselves in Sheol, the underworld, with millions of other people. Thousands of spacecrafts had risen to the skies. They emitted a blue light to dematerialize the humans and transport them into the ships. This happened for the next half hour. When all the humans had been taken to spaceships or Shambhala, the Earth, as if by magic, started changing. Land masses started crumbling within the Earth. New lands were forming. Seas and oceans were being repositioned. Loic and Tanya woke up in Orion with the other deniers of God. They had passed the test. The end.